We welcome you back to WKYT's Kentucky Newsmakers. Home sales are strong around the country and really hot, it appears, in the greater Lexington region right now, as well as in some other parts of the state. The Lexington Bluegrass Association of Realtors president for this year is Carl Tackett of Georgetown. He joins us now with some fresh numbers and some trends for buyers and sellers, and we certainly appreciate you coming in.
Nice to be here.
Hey, you've done this before, right?
I have.
You served
Yes.
before, and so how are you seeing things go right now? We understand that the news is pretty strong for home sales.
It is. The market is really good. It's recovering, obviously, from a bad time from 2008 to about 2011, and it's good for sellers.
And how do you determine the strength of a market? What are the factors that you're looking for? Is it the number of sales, the numbers of homes that are on the market, or the number of days they stay there?
Yeah. Well, obviously, we have buyers right now that are looking. With the market and the inventory the way it is, it's been a really good time for the market. The home sales are increased. Our median sales have gone up. Our inventory's gone down. So therefore we're seeing prices increase, which is good for the seller. And then the buyer, if they're looking, they better go ahead and grab hold, because we're seeing multiple offers on a lot of properties and quick closes. Even with TRID, which is the new CFPB rules and regulations for banking, we're seeing the sales are going pretty smoothly, even with the new banking regulations.
You mentioned about it being tough back there, starting in the 2008, and for some years after that, as people had difficulty getting access to credit. Is that you say that is easier now, or is it still?
Yeah, well, credit scores obviously are crucial when someone's applying for a home loan, and the new guidelines. Make it a little bit hard for the bankers, but obviously it's made it better for home buyers, and to me we're seeing a better trend with banking now, because even though a lot of people don't like the new regulations, to me it's kind of cleaned some things up that probably needed cleaned up.
What do you advise somebody who may be thinking about buying a new home, and you know how important that credit score must be? Should you start to eye that situation, several months or a year or so down the road? Yes,
definitely. As a realtor, we want people to pre-qualify, to be sure that they can afford a house. Be sure the price range that they're looking at, that they can qualify for that. So do that prior to, looking for that house.
And what else should they do to be sure their credit score is the best it can be?
Obviously, don't overspend.
Yeah.
I think that's really
simple
important.
Simple as that. Yeah.
Right.
Are there some segments of home sales that are stronger than others right now? Where are you seeing the most activity?
Probably the 200,000 range is a real good market. We're seeing a lot of buyers that can qualify in the 200,000 range with the interest rates staying low. Upper end housing, 300 plus is still a little slow. But in certain areas, with the inventory the way they are, about 1.8 months for Fayette County, even less than that in some places. Some zip codes are even less than that inventory-wise. So if a person's looking for a house, they need to grab it quick, because we're seeing a lot of multiple offers on properties, and it's basically based on what they're actually looking for.
You have a good perspective, because you have based your career in Georgetown, and certainly the surrounding cities to Lexington are their own entities, but at the same time, do people look at the entire bluegrass region as
they do.
That they want to live somewhere, and they really they don't pay that much attention to those jurisdiction lines?
It doesn't seem to as much anymore. Obviously, people are looking for a bargain wherever they go. In Scott County, our median price range has gone up. Obviously, our inventory has gone down, and with Toyota and all the changes that they're making, they're moving people around, moving people in. The new engineering plant, they're getting ready to open that at the site, at the Toyota site. So, county per county, they're looking for a bargain. Obviously, Fayette County is a little bit higher, but the inventory is a lot less. So, you know, they may go to Lawrenceburg, they may go to Harrison County, you know, to try to find a little bit better bargain.
Are people willing to commute as they once were, or are we seeing people wanting to be closer in, or the commute's no big deal?
Yeah, they still do commute.
And what do they tell you about that? I mean, like if somebody works in Lexington, you find them a bargain in Lawrenceburg, they're okay with that.
And gasoline prices are down.
Yeah.
You know, so that to me, that's a factor as well.
How wide would you say that spread is? That where people, where does there come to be a tolerance point with the commute?
Probably 45 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, 50 minutes max, somewhere in that range. We've got some folks that are coming from northern Kentucky from the Toyota engineering plant that are moving this direction, also moving to Texas. And, you know, those people will either move, you know, closer, they'll stay where they are, maybe because of schools, or they'll go to Texas.
Schools, how important, is that? Yeah.
Very important. As you've seen here in Fayette County, with so many changes here in Fayette County and redistricting and drawing lines and that type of stuff, you know, schools are really important. But, you know, when I look at schools, Fayette County, Scott County, we got great schools. We really do. You know, so I don't see issues with schools. You know, some people will want to go to a certain area. But overall, I think we've got great schools.
Do you, you know, you look at how the region grows and plans for growth and does the subdivisions and so forth. Are there times when you shake your head when you hear about a development, or for the most part, do you think the region does a pretty good job of setting up the subdivisions and the residential areas?
Yeah, I think our developers have done a great job. You know, affordable housing obviously is key, and you know, I wish we were seeing more new construction. I really do, to keep up with the supply and demand issue right now, but we're not. You know, obviously when a development comes on, it takes time to put it together, and you know, hopefully time will tell, and you know, the new construction will kind of help even out our inventory. So I know in Scott County we're seeing a lot of new construction.
Did you pay much attention to this issue in Fayette County with the property values and the 10-acre lots, where there was the issue that they were being getting a farm tax break, and I think there's going to be some change on that, so that may be something that some people watch. When we come back, just another couple of minutes here, we're going to be with Carl Tackett. We'll ask what kind of things people are looking for in homes these days. What are the amenities they're looking for, and how simple is it to get going in buying, looking at a new home, or selling a home? We'll be back, wrap up Kentucky Newsmakers in a moment. Welcome back now to Kentucky Newsmakers on WKYT, and we are talking this morning with the Lexington Bluegrass Association of Realtors president for this year, Carl Tackett, who served in this position before some years ago. Continuing our discussion, do most people, Carl, look for an existing home, or do they want brand spanking new most of the time?
And that's a good question. A lot of people want old because they think it's built better. But then I just wrote down a few things that people are actually looking for now. And obviously number of bedrooms are important if it's a family. Some people are looking for swimming pools. Granite tops are a big thing now. Upgraded baths and kitchens. People like space in their baths and their kitchens. Open spaces, technological smart homes, security, monitoring systems, charging stations, and smart thermostats. Those are all a big deal. And storage, obviously, and then outdoor space is crucial.
Do people tend to want some land right now around the home, or do they want to keep it simple and and not have to mow?
Right. Well, you know, the funny thing is, about half the people that I'm currently working with, one does, one doesn't want. One doesn't want any maintenance, doesn't even want to mow a yard. The next person I take up, well, I want 5 acres, or I want 10 acres, or I want a small farm, or, you know, we're seeing both.
Yeah, so it depends on the taste.
Depends on the person.
You show a lot of homes to couples, obviously, who are out there, and families looking for homes. What trends do you see in terms of the higher priority maybe that the woman tends to put on it and the man tends to put on it in those cases? Yeah,
it was funny because I was with some folks just this week, and we looked at a house over in Harrison County because obviously the prices were a little bit better. And but the house we looked at that time, had no woman touches in it whatsoever. But the guy loved it. So to give you an idea, I think, you know, the ladies' touch in new construction is real important. Obviously, the lady, they're going to be there more than the man, more than likely, anyway.
And what do the guys tend to want?
Man caves.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they want that little space for themselves.
Somewhere they can get away. We know millennials, you know, it's tough for them. Sometimes they're not in position financially to buy. Some of them would rather rent than buy. Do you see that mindset being a little different with the young crowd?
Well, unfortunately, I've had a chance to work with some younger folks over the past few years, and you know, rent rates are extremely high right now, and interest rates are extremely low. So if a person could put together the money, you know, we encourage them to buy, not just for us, but, you know, for their future, obviously for tax breaks and that type of thing. But, you know, once it's rented, the money's out the window. Once they've bought, then there's the tax breaks.
Let's talk about the seller just for the minute we have left here. If people want to get something to market, just some tips you would have for them to get their home prepared to go on the market.
Curb appeal is crucial. You know, if you got a house and it needs mulch, you know, the bushes trimmed, do that. You know, so when that person's driving by, it catches their eye and they'll stop and look at it. Obviously, clutter is a big deal. You know, if it's cluttered, unclutter. One thing I tell folks a lot, you know, with technology and everything, when people are in and out of houses, and there's items in there that you don't want to see, put them away. You know, just put them away. Find a closet, lock them up, whatever, for safety reasons, obviously.
All right. Thanks for coming by.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate it very much. Carl Tackett, serving this year as the Lexington Bluegrass Association of Realtors president. Thank you for joining us for this edition of Kentucky Newsmakers. We'll see you bright and early this week on WKYT This Morning, and we hope you make it a good week ahead.